What's going on, everybody? RA, your pro wrestling nerd here. And with WWE LFG Legends and Future Greats Season 1 all wrapped up and in the books, I was wondering what's next for these 16 competitors. So we're going to look into that. So remember to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, drop a comment down below. What would you like to see happen with these guys? Let's hit that intro and get into it. Break it all down for you. I ain't never giving up. First off, let's start with the winners, Jasper, Troy, and Tyra Steele. This one's pretty easy. They're the winners. They're already going to be on TV, so there's not much we need to do with them. Let's have them run the motions and get them on the TV. Next up, we're going to look at Chris Island and Shiloh Hill, the runner-up and one of the semifinalists. Honestly, I think a program with them in Dark State would be good. I mean, there's already a little built-in thing because Cutler James was on LFG also. So, I mean, I don't think it's going to be a big thing, but it helps get them on TV. Maybe they're out there cutting promos, announcing their arrival, and Dark State attacks them. And it sets up a little program with them there. I think a program with them in Dark State would help both of them very much. Next up, we've got the women's runner-up, Zena Sterling. This was going to be an interesting one to get her on TV. I really didn't know how to do it, but then I thought it looks like Zarya and Sol Ruka might be heading towards a collision with one of them turning on the other. I'm not exactly sure who, but I think Zena could come in for whoever is still face and team with them and help them out, and that's how they can bring her in. I think she'd be a good addition to that storyline, just like that. Next up, we have Bayley Humphrey, which when she comes up, she'll probably have a new name because we already have the legendary Bayley on the main roster, so having another Bayley, not probably the smartest thing. But I racked my brain to figure out what to do with her when we do bring her up, and I think it will be pretty soon because she's pretty ready. She had a great match with Thea Hale at a live event a few weeks ago, and I was thinking what was the last thing I seen Thea doing, and it kind of makes sense. Tatum Paxley is looking for friends. She lost her friends. She's a mess about it. So bring Bayley in as her new friend and have her in a tag team program against Carmen Petrovic and Thea Hale. And I think that would work out very well to introduce her into the NXT universe. Now we're at the foursome of Drake Morreaux, Troy Yearwood, Penina P. Nasty, and Tatyanna Dumas. I didn't really know what to do with these guys because they seem to be a little ahead of being just at the PC, and they're not NXT TV ready. So there has to be a middle ground, right? There is. They kind of touched on it last week if you watched WWE Evolve. Troy Yearwood is already on that show. They announced that he was a new signee of Evolve. I would add the other three also because it gives them a chance to work on their character and what little in-ring work they do need. But I think this is a perfect opportunity for them to continue to grow. Now we have BJ Ray. Another person who is an interesting person to go with. He has a lot of charisma, as we all seen if you watch the show. But what do you do with him? Well, maybe put him in Chase U for a short bit. Kind of like what they were going to look like they were originally going to do with Duke Hudson, who eventually betrays the group and goes against them. I know they kind of did that with Bridge, but do it in a different way. Not, just him being unhinged just because he's a douchebag. That's his character. He's a douchebag. So I think him temporarily aligning with Chase U only to turn on them would be good for both groups. Now we come to who was my favorite person on the show, Dani Sekelsky or Dani Ray, because I think that should be her name when she hits TV, because her real name, Dani Sekelsky, just doesn't roll off the tongue like Dani Ray does. So we're going to go with Dani Ray. And I absolutely loved her. She was my favorite person on the show overall. And piggybacking off what we just said with BJ Ray, I think she's also good for Chase U. She has the cheerleading background. Being the cheerleader for Chase U just seems like a perfect fit. She could maybe come in at the end of the BJ Ray Chase U program and help them beat her former showmate and join Chase U. I think She is just the absolute perfect fit for Chase U. And now we get to Anthony Luke. This guy has an aura, he has a look, and he has a great in-ring presence to where I'm actually would take him and put him farther ahead of anybody when he gets to TV. So much so, I would put him in a North American Championship program with Ricky Saints. Not saying have him go over Ricky, not even close. But I think put him in that championship run because I think he can do it. Have Ricky go over, but it sets him as this is a high priority guy because he has the look, he has everything you need. I really think this guy has probably the biggest future of all the males. And finally, the last three I want to talk about is Elijah Holyfield, Sirena Linton, and Leigh Laurel. Honestly, they're not ready for TV yet. None of them are. Not a knock to them. Still very, very green. I think keep them in the PC, keep them working. Put them on season 2 of LFG. Let them come back to give some familiar faces to the next season. I think that honestly would be the best bet for these. And there you have it. What I think the 16 competitors from WWE LFG Legends and Future Greats should be doing. How I would book them if I had the opportunity to do so. So remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any content we put out. Drop a comment down below. Do you agree with what I said? How would you do it if you had the opportunity? As always, thanks for watching, and we will see you again.
Watch out, 'cause I'm here now and I'm staying.